and thank you for tuning with us. We want to share with you that about 5 months ago we purchased a Class A motorhome, which we've been living in it with our whole family, a family of 6, my husband and I, and 4 daughters. And we have been enjoying it, but at this point in our journey, we are ready to make a little bit of modifications, and we believe we're going to start with something we think is not so big of a deal. So we're going to be starting with our dinette. I will show you how it looks like now. I will show you what everything we're using to make the upholstery done, and I will show you the process, and I will also show you the end result. Hopefully everything turns out really good, I'm hoping. So join us as we do this little project. We're going to do the dinette part, the bottom, and the backing. And I will show you that right now. They're behind me, and there's 4 pieces. 2 large ones and 2 not so large. But we will show you exactly what we're going to be doing. These 2 right here are the back part of the dinette, and these 2 are the bottom part of the dinette. Instead of just leaving it like that, because we're not going to sew anything, it's a non-sewing project for us. We're going to put wood behind it, and this is what we have. We went ahead and went to Lowe's, and we asked them to cut it exactly to the size that we wanted. And then my husband came, and he cut this edges right here, and he also sanded the edge, but we are going to put fabric on top of it, and we will show you as we progress, leaving 1.5 inches on one side and about 2 inches on the other side. Alright, this is the process of the glue part, but you have to work really quick and make sure you stretch the fabric. You see those little wrinkles? They need to be stretched immediately, otherwise it's just going to stick. Alright, and then we're going to continue doing the rest of the wood and do the other pieces. We just finished the back of it, and we're going to do the edges, and this part is the inside of it where the cushion will be. But we're going to do first the corners, and then we're gonna glue the sides, and we will show you how we're gonna end up doing this. I want to show you what these panels look like. Those are the back part of the back side of the cushion. This one right here, that's the one that's going to be exposed, and this one that has the lap over is going to be the inner part of the cushion. In other words, the cushion is going to lay on it, and that's going to cover it, and then we're going to wrap the fabric around it. What we're doing now is we got the fabric. Since it's 4 yards, we got 2 yards for each set. That is the bottom, and this is the back. And can you see how we're putting the wood behind it? So we already went ahead and cut it in half, because that's how we're going to do it. We're going to focus on one set and then the other set as we go. We are in the final stages of reupholstering the dinette. There's 3 parts of it that is coming together so well. We're so excited, and I'm going to show you how it came together. Let me show you right here. This part is a black part that is a wood, and we sprayed and we put the black fabric on it. This is the back side. Remember about the inner part that was in there. We are also using a stapler to staple it together, but before we do that, we're hemming it in, and then we staple it in, just like so. If we have a mistake that one of the staples don't go in well, we're using this screw. It's a small one, and we're just tucking it in to take it out. We use this instrument. I know you guys and ladies know what it is. I forgot what it is. But we also want to make sure that the other staples stay in, so we're just hammering it in to make sure that they're secured. You also want to give a little bit of forgiving on the fabric, and it's not so tight that it's very stiff and uncomfortable. You want to be able to have it a little bit of stretching on there, so that when you sit or you're on it, you're comfortable. We're going to be doing the corners of the cushion, but it's a little bit tricky because we wanted to have a smooth edge on the corners. So I'm going to take you to see what I'm going to do right here. I need to cut off some of the excess material, and I'm looking at about this much to cut off, because this is more or less what I'm trying to do, to cut off right here. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to cut. I'm eyeballing it. And I'm taking the corners. I'm tucking it in. I am still going to do the edge. I'm going to go ahead and staple this corner because this is my guide. And I do want the edges to look nice and tucked in. So this is what I'm going to do right here. this is what I'm looking for. This is this nice tuck in. That is what I'm looking for. And then we will staple. This is the back part of the dinette, the one that your bag faces. It does have a little bit of an indentation right here. We no longer want this indentation. So I have an old pillow. I'm going to recycle. I was going to throw it away anyways, but I'm going to take it apart from the inside, fill it in, and make it flushed, even. And then I'm going to put on top this. That way it won't be moving and it won't ball up when we start using it. This is the batting we're going to be putting in the middle. So it'll have a little bit of, I guess, smoothness. I know it's bulky right now, but we are going to put this matting or this layer on top of that way it'll smooth this part over. This is more or less what we're looking at. We're going to put the wood. This is a cushion. Right here is the filling. Then we have the matting, and then we have the fabric, and it's going to come together. We're doing this first, filling it in, then we're covering that for security. Then at the very bottom is the fabric, and then on top is the wood. Right now what hubby is doing, he is spraying it down so that matting, that filling doesn't go anywhere, and he's going to do that through the whole indentation that we have right there. Just for security, he's going to do that to the cushion and the filling, and then we're going to put another layer of the filling so that we can make sure that once we start using it, it doesn't go into the indentation. Now he's going to put the next part, and that's the part that it should flush on both sides and make it nice and even right before we put the last piece. And we want it to lay flat and look like it's one whole piece instead of two pieces. Right here we're doing the overlay, and this is the part that will help that filling that we put in the middle right here to stay. We're going to turn it, and then we're going to go ahead, use the wood, and we're going to staple it this to the wood. What we're doing right now is that hubby went ahead and cut a piece from here and a piece from here, which is this one right here. That way we can have a clean fit and a clean cut. Right now we're in the stage of putting the fabric on, and I want to show you how the cover looks. Even though it's opening it up, we didn't want it to be bulging too much on the corners. That way it'll run smooth. So once we put the fabric, it's going to go over. Even if we hem it, we have all that space between here to there that it'll still have a smooth finish. These corners are a little bit tricky because this is the top and this is the bottom, and as you can see, they're not equal. On the dinette, this is going to be the part that is exposed, this part, because it comes out about this much and you can see it over. But hubby here, he had to cut pieces in order for it to make sense and to have a smooth corner. So he's going to show us how he does that. We may even have to spray a little bit on that. So you see he got that piece and he tucked it in. He's getting this other piece, but he's also making a hem right here by tucking it in. Then he gets that last part and he's going to overlap. This is the finished look we wanted on the corners. All right, right here we have the bottom cushion and then we have the top cushion. Right here on this area is the area where it had the indentation. As you can see, it looks quite even and it looks really nice. What you see right here is the ends of the dinette. This L-shaped figures, this one and this one, is the end. That's what you look at when you're walking in the RV. This piece is the top of the backing of the dinette. And this one, it's the end of another one. They have screws and L brackets that we're going to remove. We're also going to use this fabric. All right, right now what we're going to do is we're going to do the L shape of the dinette. It just is mounted on top of the backing, and we already cut, and I'm going to show you right here, we already cut the material and we cut it in such a way that we can have enough space to overlap. We're going to staple it in place. Right here we have the pattern already cut for this one. I want to point out that hubby went ahead and made some cuts right here, here. He also made some cuts on this corner right here, this one and this one. He also made some cuts right here and right here. That way, when he starts putting it together, it'll look something like this. And right here in this corner, since it's a little bit tricky, he'll be able to have the flexibility to be able to make it a round edge. And right here, you can see how this one is already going in. When he tucks it in, this is more or less what it's going to look like. Of course, we like clean cuts and clean edges. Right here we have the end caps of the dinette where the cushions will go. If you see, pay attention to those silver dots. They are screws that hubby has been screwing in, and on top of them we will have some buttons that will be from the same fabric. Hubby has been using a drill to drill them in, and he's drilling it to the wall because there is wood right there that will hold it nice and steady. Also wanted to show you other parts that we did. We reupholstered it, and then we have this other one that has the L shape. You can see right here. Right here we have the buttons that goes in those screws where we went and put the end caps of the dinette. So what we're doing is we're spraying the piece of fabric with this kind of glue, the same one we've been using through the whole project. And then we put the button in there in the middle, squeeze it up. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the extra pieces off. See, like on this one we did take off the extra. Once we put it back where the screw goes, we will tuck in with a little screw. Here we are with the final touch-ups. This is the buttons that we're going to put on those areas where these screws and the tab needs to be covered. So what we're using this hammer, we're using that screw to tuck in the edges, but we're also using this sponge, it's a normal sponge, to hammer it in just because we don't want to make the tops flat or damage it. So we're just going to protect it by putting it over as we hammer it in, and that way we don't mess with the shape of these cover-ups. Hubby's using that sponge and that hammer to hammer it in. We're going to do a second one. He's using this screw. It's a real fine, flat screw, and it helps us to tuck in those little edges that wants to peep out. He just wants to make sure they look nice and tidy. We are so excited we finally finished our dinette project. We're so excited. We thought we were never going to finish. We'll share with you our experience at the end. I will show you now how it looks. So get ready because it looks amazing. Well, here we are with our new dinette cushions. It feels warm, inviting, and cozy. That's what we were aiming for in this dinette suite. Well, that is our story with our new dinette reupholstered. We had a great time doing this. Honestly, it took us about 10 hours to do this. We are not professionals. We wanted to do this project. We wanted to do it together as a family, and we wanted certain things to look a certain way, so we took our time doing it. We had a lunch break, we had a dinner break, we had our daughter singing and dancing, we had laughter, and then we had thinking time. I'll try to figure out how we're going to do those corners. But overall, it was very enjoyable. We're so satisfied to be able to do this, and I'm looking forward to the other projects we're going to be doing. So you may want to stay tuned. I want to present to you my helper, hubby. He was helping me do a lot of this project, and of course my girls were helping in as well. Helping. That's right. Well, everybody got a little piece of it, so we all own it. We all love it, so it is a good experience. So thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, please subscribe, and stay tuned for some more videos. God bless. Bye.